Welcome to the GameChanger00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. And I'm going to make this a real quick one. In fact, I probably shouldn't even have did the introduction, but I did. So, all right. I just came across this video probably because I was looking at Ricki Lake earlier and just wanted to share it with y'all, give my quick opinion on it because I got some things I got to do tomorrow. So let me do this one right here. No, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Actually, this one. Yeah, there we go. All right. So basically, interracial dating, and it is what you think it is. So let me do it right quick.
Welcome. Thank you. That very opinionated woman you just met is Strawberry, and we'll be hearing from her throughout this hour because she's got plenty more that she wants to get off her chest about interracial love. Our guests are here to defend their right to date outside their own race, but their friends and family members say that love is anything but colorblind, and they want their interracial love connections terminated. Valerie's white coworker Diana says she has found love in a dark brown package, and she couldn't be happier. But Valerie says that women like Diana are taking the best black men for themselves and leaving black women with the thugs and drug dealers.
Okay. Listen to what she said. The best black men for themselves. The best, as she defines the word best, is being taken away from her, leaving her with the thugs and the drug dealers that she just seems to hate being with so much. Let's listen more.
Whoa. That's quite a statement, Valerie. You really feel that way?
Yes, I do, Ricki. For 400 years, we as black women have been raped.
I love it when they talk about slavery as if it only happened to women. I just love that part.
By the white man since the year 1614, when the first black slave ship landed here. Now, in the 5th century, Now,
when I first heard that, I had to rewind it. But yes, she did say the 5th century, which means that she is about 1600 centuries off. You know, she actually thinks it's 501 or, you know, something like that, or 601. No, excuse me, 401. Yeah, she's a little off as far as her understanding of what time it is. Don't ask her what today's date is, you know. Or actually, don't even ask her what today is, because she will say Thursday. And I think she says that every day. But yeah, she said the 5th century.
we're being robbed of the best black men the world has.
Who's to say that white women are getting the best black men?
Oh, they are getting the best. Let's use some examples.
Yes, let's use some examples.
Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, I think their women got it pretty good.
Oh, are they? I'm not familiar. They're dating white women and married
they are.
to. Okay.
Very much so.
All right, and let's talk about Diana. What's wrong with the man she's found?
Well, Diana is a nice person. She is my coworker, and I actually like her. She's found a very
Everything before the word but is bullshit.
nice black man. And I feel that she is robbing some black sister of something that should be rightfully hers.
Now, notice how much she cares about the well-being, the interest of some black woman that she hasn't met anywhere. She hasn't met this woman that he could be robbing her of anywhere at all, ever. She doesn't know her personally. She's not in her family, but she just feels that if he wasn't with her, he would be with some black woman. And that brings a smile to her face. Doesn't matter how this black woman treats him. It doesn't even matter if this black woman rejects him, ultimately. Just as long as he is benefiting some black woman somewhere.
His name is the boss.
So are you saying that white should stay with white and black should stay with black?
Exactly.
Okay, you say that what?
Okay, white should stay with white and black should stay with black. All right, I'm gonna play this game for a second. I don't know, because I don't do this, and this is because I have a code against married women. But we all know that swingers exist. We all know that somewhere someone is swinging right now. They're switching wives and switching husbands. Say you have an unattractive man, right? With an attractive wife. And then, oh, you know something? Let's say you have Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? Say you have Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I'm not calling Jay-Z unattractive. I'm just saying Beyonce is far more pretty than Jay-Z is handsome. Now, on the opposite end, let's say you have Dwayne Martin and Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell, who didn't age very well. I think that's pretty safe to say. She didn't age very well, and Dwayne Martin aged far better than she did. So imagine the two of them together. And they say, let's swing. The four of them get together and say, let's swing. Now, Beyonce and Dwayne Martin is getting a pretty good deal out of it. They're getting a pretty good deal out of it. However, both Jay-Z and Tisha Campbell might be disappointed. Why did I bring that up? Because that's what it is. See, that's what they're proposing, and that's why she's against it. If the plurality of black men and black women got together with the plurality of white men and white women and said, let's trade, who would win in this trade? Who would be the Jay-Z Beyonce, or excuse me, the Jay-Z Dwayne Martin couple, and who would be the Tisha Campbell Jay-Z couple? That's why they don't really want to do it on either side. That's why. So when she says, "Oh no, I'm not like that way because of loyalty or whatnot," bullshit. You're that way because you will have to downgrade in order to do it properly.
White women couldn't teach black children.
No, a white woman cannot teach black children black heritage. We as black people are now trying to raise black awareness. We are trying for the sake of black history that has been all but forgotten.
Okay,
it has not been forgotten by anybody but you that think that we live in the 5th century.
in defense of Diana and Hamas, how can they help who they're attracted to? She's attracted to black men. He's attracted to white women.
Well, I myself might be attracted, but at the same time, I would never consider going with out of my race or marrying or having children by any other. I think it's okay maybe to socialize on a...
Now, here's a question, since she says that. Who is she willing to marry and have children with? See, I hate it when women who are completely and totally single claim loyalty. It's not loyalty when you're single. That's like telling Coca-Cola, right? That's like going to the CEO of Coca-Cola and asking him for a job. And he says, hey, you wouldn't be a Pepsi drinker, would you? And I say, no. I absolutely, under any circumstance, would never, ever, 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 ever drink Pepsi. And then he says, okay, that's great because, you know, we're looking for people that drink Coke. I'm like, oh, no, I just don't drink soda. Like, That's what she's doing. She's trying to say, you're not with anybody, miss. You're not doing the things that you just described with anyone. Therefore, any loyalty that you try to ascertain from that is false. I don't do this. Well, does that mean that you do that? No, it doesn't. Just because somebody don't eat pork, that doesn't mean that they eat beef. You're not doing those things for anybody. But let's continue.
Social basis, but I think white women.
But who are you to set those limitations on somebody else?
I'm a black woman who has earned that right.
She said, who are you? And she says she's a black woman who has earned that right. She did nothing herself. But just by being a black woman, she has the right to set limitations on others. I'm a black woman that has earned that right. First of all, what did you do to earn that right? Did you fight in a war or something? Like, how does one earn the right to do such a thing? But she'll explain it. Let's see.
My mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother has worked very, very hard to raise these black men to the place where they are.
Okay, I mean...
And how hard did they work to raise the women to support these men? I mean, your mother raised you, right? To the point of which you are. You see, that's the problem. The mothers raised the son to benefit a woman that she hasn't even met yet, just like she's working to benefit a woman that she hasn't even met yet. They raised the son to be all these things for some mystery woman, for some mystery black woman. And she's part of it. She's part of this sisterhood that's doing that. And the plan backfires when they come to realize that, oh, wait a minute, I didn't actually raise my daughters to receive these men. I raised my sons to be these men, but I didn't raise my daughters to receive them. It's like teaching your son how to throw, but not teaching him how to catch. Or you teach both your sons how to throw, so they can't play catch. They're just throwing balls at each other and picking them off the ground. Kind of miss something.
Obviously, you're free to speak your opinion, but she's a grown woman making her own decisions, and he is a grown man. And I'm speaking for them, but why don't we let her speak for herself? Let's meet Diana. Diana, come on out.
You know.
Yes. Diana is a fat woman. Or excuse me, a fiznat woman. She is very fiznat, and it's worse than that. We're going to play a little bit more.
Right. Hi, Diana. I'm speaking for you. I don't know why, but you speak for yourself.
Thank you, and I agree with everything you just said. First and foremost, let me tell you that we're supposed to be coming together as a community, and I mean as a whole country. You know, American culture, that's what we're trying to build here, and there's people like her that are keeping us from doing that.
When they stop all this racism and holding black men back for reasons of being black, then it'll be time. When that day happens, it'll be time. That day never happens, so it'll never be time.
Now, so they have this random chick come in. Her name's Strawberry. Don't know why. Very weird. But maybe she has something to say earlier in the show, right? But notice how they put that stipulation. Stop holding the black man back, and then it'll be time. So basically, so let's go off of that for a second. Let's dig into that just a little bit, a couple of feet, right? So as long as black men are being held back, black men and black women will stick together, and black men are forced to be loyal to black women as long as they're being held back. Meaning you want black men to be held back chronically and constantly and, forever. eternally. You want this to happen because that is the glue that binds you together, or rather the glue that binds him to you.
As a person, she is a wonderful woman. But the stuff that she's talking about, I'm not trying to downplay history. It's there. We need to educate our children. However, I think you have issues, and here's name a number of a therapist that you can talk and work through those. It's 2001, Rick.
I don't need a therapist. Well, you need something, but truth be told, and I talked to Kevin about this before. Actually, I think I did. I probably just said it while he was listening one time, but I'm not entirely but I had a bad experience with a counselor, so I'm not entirely sold on the psychiatric profession. But she does need something. Don't know what it is, but her view of the world, basically, she's just part of the sisterhood. She needs to break from the sisterhood. That's what she needs.
Is she all up in your business?
I don't need a therapist. What Diana needs to do is find her a Caucasian. Reason being.
Now, are you saying this because you want her man for yourself?
No, I do not want her man, but some black.
There you go. I do not want her man. I do not want her man, but some black woman does. And that is the sickness. It's that part alone that made me want to play this video. How dare a person says, I don't want your toy, but I don't want you to play with it. And if you don't play with it, I'm not going to replace it. I'm going to go to somebody's house and do that. I'm going to go to somebody's house and say, you know something? I don't want your dog, but I don't want you to have it. So I want you to get rid of your dog to make me happy. And you will be unhappy because you don't have a dog, and your dog will be unhappy because it'll be out on the street. But I'll be happy knowing that somebody else might pick up that dog.
Black woman out there deserves them.
Deserves them.
We as black women have suffered and been the backbone of these black men ever since black people were here.
So do you feel like he's betraying you?
Like every woman has been the backbone, so to speak, of their man since their man was here. And really everywhere. Like that's just what women are. Like rib, and I guess you could say backbone too, but yeah, that's just what women are. Why do they try to take exceptional credit for that? Very strange.
Yes, I do. I think he's forgotten.
Well, let me tell you like this. Whoa. Let me tell you. This man right here, I'm going to tell you, Ricki, this man that I met.
The invisible man.
Yes.
Sit in that chair right there.
He is a wonderful man. I am the first white woman that he has ever dated. Okay? And, his job...
I'd like to know, what did we ever do to Ahmad? Let him speak for himself.
It's funny because the list is far too long. If she were to say, what did we ever do to him? The list is actually, that list is probably very short. But you want to know what list is very long? The list of what haven't you done for him? Then he could just spout off stuff. Cook, clean, suck dick, let me hit it from the back. Let me hit it more than once a week. Like he could just list an entire list. Gave me children, took care of those children. He could just spout off for days what they haven't done for him. Instead of for asking, what have we done to him?
Amaz is a wonderful person. We complement each other. Okay, we have come together. We have goals. We have the same ideas.
Why are they acting surprised? Like, listen, if you're gonna pretend something, don't have the chair already out since the beginning of the show. We know that the guy is coming.
Speaking of the man, let's let him speak for himself. Hamas, come on down. Hi, Hamas. Thanks so much for being here. What do you have to say about this? Valerie thinks it's all wrong and you are betraying black women like her.
Man, what a start.
Now, actually, I don't think she says it yet.
Right? First of all, you say like the drug dealers and things like that. That's what.
Oh, no, there it goes right there. There it goes right there. Okay. Diana's boyfriend says Diana is his first white girlfriend. His first. Now, remember what I said earlier and what you all have noticed? She is Fiznat. She is a Fiznat white woman. She is, by definition, not a woman and of very low value, if any. However, she is probably he's far more handsome than she is pretty. Why is his shirt so shiny? What is that? What is that, like neon polyester? What kind of shirt? Why does it just gleam? Well, he just put glitter in his shirt? Or is that starch? He just got like hella starch in it. What's up with that? So, Mr. Albert, I agree. Bad pick of a white woman. However, it's his first. And his first is going to be bad. His first is going to be bad. This is the first woman to ever get him a sandwich. This is the best he's ever been treated. Now, hopefully in time, he's going to start picking more, and he actually gets a true Becky. But right now, he's just experiencing a different type of treatment for the first time. Now, I want to point out also that he is more handsome than the other woman is pretty. So she said her standards past him. She set her standards past him. She doesn't want him because she feels that he's not good enough for her. Oh, gosh. With her saggy boobs, she still feels greater. She still feels greater than. Gray Fox says starter Becky. Yeah, exactly. I guess it's a starter Becky, which is, I don't play the starter game, but, you know, it's a starter Becky, I guess. Dang, where did I want to go with that? I lost my train of thought when you said starter Becky. Oh, okay. But even the other chick still feels that she can do better. And she's still holding out until she's 35 and she says something like, you know, I want a man that makes six figures. Because she's one of those types. But let's listen further.
Settle for the very few that will settle for something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers out there that got jobs, that got goals.
Oh, wait. Hold on right quick.
And first of all, you say like the drug dealers and things like that. That's what black women will settle for. The very few that will settle for something like that.
They're not settling. They're not settling. Listen, when you're young, drug dealers are the ones that have money. Like when you're a teenager and, you know, the guy that sold weed at school or something like that, he has money because everybody else is living off allowance if they are fortunate enough to have parents that give them one. So it makes sense that they would not only entertain a drug dealer at that stage in life, they would also, it also makes sense that they would do it with the intention of one day leaving said drug dealer for a guy like this. But don't pretend like, you know, you're left with it. Like this is what you're relegated to, because that's bull. That's bull. When you were in high school, not every guy that was in class with you was a drug dealer or a thug. And if you went to college, the same is true there. You just overestimated the amount of time that you had to pick a mate, to play the games, to go through your bad boy phase or whatever. You overestimated your time. You overplayed your hand. Somebody picked it before you. It's like that person who says, oh, I'll buy some Bitcoin tomorrow. And then it explodes.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers out there that got jobs, that got goals, that's doing things, and that has black women. What I found in this woman is, first of all, personality, the way she make me feel.
Come on, get to take a bath.
See, he hasn't yet realized, because of the circumstances under which he was raised and those who raised him, that most other women in the have a similar personality. He can easily find, because this is his starter, he can easily find another woman who's not fat with a similar personality. I know, because when I first realized that it was in college, and the Asian girls in particular were like extremely, extremely nice and friendly, like ridiculously so, to the point where I couldn't tell the difference between the ones that wanted to fuck and the ones that didn't. Because the only time a B-dub was that nice is when she wanted some penis. So I just assumed, I kid you not, I just assumed that they all wanted penis. Like they would say something like I came in like 10 minutes late, right? From for physics class. And this Asian chick, she was like, do you need these notes? And I was like, well, yeah, but I don't want to copy that and then miss the current notes. So, she was like, well, just call me, and I'll make sure that you get them and you could copy them later. And she gave me her number, and I was like, all right, bet, that's perfect. She wants some penis. Why else is she being so nice to me? Come to find out that she's just that. Like, come to find out that that's just her personality. Come to find out she would have did that for anybody that just sat in that seat. I didn't know that going in. It's a trip. It trips me out because they're all like that. Like all the little stuff. Y'all not feeling me. You would swear up and down, if you haven't dealt with that your whole life, you would swear up and down that they want some penis. You would swear up and down that they want some penis. Like all the stuff that they do, it's like, hey, I'm going to the break room. Anybody want me to pick up anything? Oh, she wants some penis. That is the first thing that came to my mind when I started to experience stuff like that. Like, yep, she wants some penis. But no, she's married and stuff. And she just like, I'm going to the break room anyway. If you want me to pick you up some fig Newtons, because that's what I want, fig Newtons. If you want to pick me up some fig Newtons, I'll do that. Because I'm a decent person. It took me a moment, not extremely long. It took me a moment to get used to. So basically, this woman here represents the first woman to get him some fig Newtons, and he just like, oh. You mean you're just gonna get it for me? Like I don't have to like beat up your brothers or something? I don't have to show how hard I am?
Black water and soak his brain in some African American history.
Okay. When I see you doing
like, it's funny because you can still know history and then still just date who you date. Sigler says, common GC, it's never as good as the first time. What do you mean? Oh, come on, GC. It's never as good as the first time. Okay, I kind of lost the context. You're talking about like the first time you like meet one? Or what? You lost me. Oh yeah, this is a random pause. She is scowling. She is scowling. How dare you get with a woman? Now, and through her scowl, right? Through her scowling gaze. If I was him, I would ask her, if I leave her, will you replace her with something better?
Her son, listen, the qualities that build a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because love exceeds all boundaries. You can't put love in conditions of sin. You know Listen, if I were to do that, if I were to put what she can do for me, what kind of job she has, material possession, if that's gone, then the love is gone. I didn't like her, I just like what she could do for me. You understand?
Excuse me.
Can we talk about I want to talk about the children, because she says that you have no business raising biracial children. You have 2 biracial children.
I just have one son. One son. Okay. Yes. I'm gonna tell you.
And she has a kid. And she has a kid. This man took a huge L. But he's new to it. He's new to it. He thinks that she has a uniquely present personality that's not common amongst her type. From his point of view, from his vantage point, she's the only one that can make him feel this way. She's the only one that is willing to make him a sandwich. He's either going to find another one real quick that'll make him a sandwich, or he's going to marry this chick. And you see, that's what a lot of these relationships that you see Sin G in with. Oh, yeah, Ike, he's definitely being hoodwinked. But you see, here's the thing. They know it. That's the cold part. These women like this, and really the majority of white women, they know that that black men are unaware of their worth because their own mama's been calling them beta male coons all their life. Their own mama has been calling them that, or just have been degrading them their whole life to the benefit of some unknown black woman. These chicks go to the hood, look for a dude that doesn't know his worth, and then swoop him up. It's like buying baseball cards from somebody that don't know the value of baseball cards. It's like, oh, Ricky Henderson, mint condition, huh? I'll give you 25 cents. That's 5 times as much as you paid for it. It's like buying baseball cards from somebody that don't know, or, like buying shoes from somebody who don't know the value of shoes, like me. If I just so happen to have like a pair of shoes on my feet and somebody says, hey, I'll give you $600 for it, I'm like, all right, I spent $40 on it. Come to find out they're worth $6,000 because, I don't know, it's the limited edition of such and such and such and such. It's kind of like that, So basically, these guys are game goofy at their sexual marketplace value. They are completely oblivious to their sexual marketplace value, and these chicks know it. Black men is the greatest thing to fat white women since the Hostess going out of business sale. It is the greatest deal that they ever had. And they're just taking advantage. Now, notice how they don't do it with the ones who were not raised that way. They only do it with the dudes who was raised around chicks like her, chicks like the black chick here. You have to have been raised in the matriarchy, because black men are raised to be discount men for other women. We're raised to be discount dick for Black women from birth. And they get upset when somebody else takes the discount.
My responsibility as a parent, because I am raising an interracial child. He is white, Black, and Puerto Rican. He has best of three worlds. My responsibility is to teach him his heritage. Example.
So she hoodwinked another one. So basically what this fat bitch did was she went out and found herself a guy who's half Black and half Puerto Rican. I know, but bear with me for a second. I'm just going off of her logic. So she found a Black dude that was half Black and Puerto Rican, and she was also his first white woman. That was his starter Becky. And she went out and got pregnant because she's like, I'm not going to mess this discount up. She got pregnant and had his baby. And then what did this dude do? He's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm Black and I'm mixed with Puerto Rican. I'm exotic. And you're not the only white girl that's decent. Oh my God, what have I done? And he went out and upgraded. Ladies, if you are fat, you are on the path to someone else, someone better. Your vagina is practiced for better women. And if you're lucky, you'll find a Black man that don't know that. If you're unlucky, then it's going to be a continual, perpetual cycle. Sickler says, you're always going to go back to starter Becky. Nope. Her first baby daddy didn't go back. Useless Familiar says, beautiful insight. I appreciate you, brother. All right, let's continue.
February, Black History Month. I took him to the library, and I let him pick who he wanted to do a report about.
Now, when they say, and here's the thing. When Black women say teach them about their heritage, what they really mean is teach them to live in a matriarchy. See, men aren't conditioned to live under these circumstances, just like slaves aren't. They have to be raised in an environment that condones that. Many of you have seen the movie Django, right? And remember when, what's his name? Cain first met Django, and he said, stop talking to him like that. And he was just talking to him regular with respect. See, that's the thing. They didn't want them to get used to respect. And they had all sorts of things to make sure that they didn't get used to being treated and feeling a certain way. Because once they do, then their mentality changed. They can never really go back. You know, like you're not allowed to ride horses because horses elevate you over people. It puts you in a position to where you look down on someone. And the truth is, they don't want a Black man or a nigger looking down on a white person. They don't want to create a circumstance where that's the case. So no niggers on horses is the general standing rule of Chickasaw County. So basically, they're using the same technique. A person not experiencing any type of freedom. What if Cain had raised Django from day one? Then how different would he be? See, they don't want that. They want to raise their own sons to be a simp, to be food for the gynocracy. That's what it's really about. See, Tiger Woods wasn't raised in a gynocracy. And really, most people that she named like that, like Kobe Bryant, and I'm thinking like Steph Curry too, even though this was before his time. Most were not raised that way. Like when you look at Aisha or Steph Curry's mom, first of all, I have to say, y'all know I don't really watch basketball, but of course, you know, being from Oakland and having family and the Warriors doing what they've been doing for the past few years, I'm gonna have to catch a game or two. It's just natural. You're gonna go visit somebody and it's gonna be on the TV, you know. So catch a game or two from time to time. And Steph's mother is hotter than his wife. It's very weird. Very, very weird. And I'm not talking about like she looks like she at one day would have been hotter than Aisha. I'm saying like right now, Steph's mom is hotter than his wife. I don't know and it's not that Aisha is a very beautiful woman, but so I twist my brain around. I'm like, how does this happen? How does that happen? That's just, I don't know. And it's the same kind of hot too, but it's like, it's just weird. It's just weird. It weirds me out. Anyway, where am I going with this? So he was raised in a patriarchy too. Patriarchies raise better men. And truth be told, these women know that, which is why they avoid it at all costs. They avoid men that were raised in patriarchies because they know that they will only accept certain type of behavior from women. All right. Wait, who's that? I don't know who that is. But, and who's the other dude in the Warriors? The big, you know, the guy that's he's really tall, but he's not like, he didn't complete evolution. What's his name? Well, I say he's really tall, like they're all not really tall. But his mama be there, and she don't even wear like the team colors and stuff. Now they're all tall. My bad. No, his mom be there, and they don't wear the team colors. And she just there mugging him, and like when they won the championship, she was pulling his beard and stuff, talking about you did this, you did this. What's that dude name? Kevin something. His name is Kevin. So what does the D stand for? Yeah, Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant is obviously raised in a matriarchy. Like you could just look at his mom and see that this man was obviously raised in a matriarchy. Now, I don't know if he's married. He's probably not, you know, but he doesn't know his worth because his mom, his fat, overbearing, angry, domineering mom is keeping his value even at this stage in his life from him. What is he married to? Here, let me see. Hold on. So his wife is also an NBA player. So basically he or a WNBA player or something. So basically, I'm not going to say anything about her looks, but basically it seems like he fulfilled his mom's fantasy. Like basically it seems like, and I'm not saying, say anything wrong with Black love, but he might have been falling into his mom's prophecy. Just saying. All right, let's continue.
And we educated ourselves. And I taught him, and he wrote a report. And that's, you know what I'm saying, that's my job.
Wait a minute. Wait, somebody said something. Yeah, here we go. You saying that his mom is the real MVP? You know something? I'm not even going to speak on his current relationship. I'm just going to say I don't like his mom. And I don't know her. I just seen because she looked out of place. Like everybody else had the blue and gold on, and she was just sitting there scowling like the whole game. So certain men are raised to be with certain women. That's my point. And they're doing it on purpose. In situations like this, breaks the chain.
As a parent, I don't feel like she can raise a black child and teach them to write black history that a black mother should be privileged to teach her children. She can't teach a child anything, and he can't either because he's also already stepped over the boundaries and went to a white woman. So what is he teaching his child about black history? To go to white women?
You see? What does history have to do with who you date in present time? They're not teaching black history. They're teaching black unity, preferably black sexual unity. What is he teaching about black history? To go to white women? Like, you don't really teach history for current mating choices. You don't. No, they teach history for the sake of keeping them with black women, preferably black women who will do the same to their sons to keep the matriarchy going. And that's why if you listen to the Hoteps, they always talk about these great black women empires where the black woman was just this elephant queen goddess. And, you know, they had this army of 250,000 black warriors following this woman's vagina, and it repelled Alexander the Great's army. I'm not making this up. They actually say that. They actually say that happened. And it's written. And it's awful, and it's historically inaccurate if I've ever seen any. First of all, Alexander never been to Ethiopia. Ever. In fact, it's rumored that he never even been to Egypt. But they just tell this stuff all the time. Like, that's what they mean when they say learning history. A history that worships black women. A history that tells you that Africa was this great Wakanda matriarchy. And it's only through their vagina will we ever recreate it.
You know, and I know that my son comes from three cultures. I try to instill that with him. But I tell you, this man right here is wonderful with my son. And what I can't teach him, this man will. He'll educate both of us. It's a unition.
Y'all see that? What I can't teach him, this man will. And they're sitting there thinking like, well, who's going to teach your son to only date black women? Who's going to teach him that? That's what they're really thinking. Who's going to teach our son to only date black women? Not her or him. And that is the problem that they have. Oh, trust me, I know. My girl's from Cameroon. Her father had two wives. She is the daughter of his second wife. And I met her through her sister. Well, my partner is married to her sister. And when she was like, you know, this is like my half sister, I was like, well, I thought that he just remarried or something. But no, he had two wives, like chronically together. It wasn't, nor has it really ever been that. But they will twist history. You see, here's the thing. Just like there's a moral to every story, right? Like when you think about, let's just take a nursery rhyme. Like think about like Humpty Dumpty, right? Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a big fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty Dumpty back together again. More of the story is stay your ass off that wall. Stay off the wall. That is something that they said to kids back in the day where castle walls were a thing that I'm pretty sure little boys were curious and they wanted to climb on. Humpty Dumpty is saying, stay off the wall. Hansel and Gretel say, you know, don't go wandering in the forest and taking candy from old bitches. If you wander in the forest and you take candy from old bitches, they will eat you, is the moral of that story. All these stories have morals. It has lessons. And all the stories that these chicks are going to tell their black sons is to stay away from them white women's. Oh, you didn't hear about old cousin Niggagropolis, did you? Oh, yeah. Cousin Niggagropolis? He hooked up with a white woman and she whistled and then the Klan came for him. If you look at a white woman too long, if you're like 10 years old and you look at a white girl for too long, see that your mama don't put a picture of Emmett Till up in your room. He was looking at white girls too. They have all these cautionary tales, and the moral of the story is always, I told you not to trust them white girls. You remember cousin D. Marquette? He married a white girl, and she divorced him and took all of his stuff. And then for some reason his penis shrunk afterwards. I told you about them white girls. Wait a minute, Game Changer. Isn't there a city in Egypt named after Alexander the Great? Yeah. Yes. It used to be a capital before Cairo. Alexander, there's a lot of places called Alexandria, but yeah. So his he didn't conquer it. One of his generals, I think Ptolemy did. I think Ptolemy was the general to the south that did that, not Alexander. And you got to remember, Alexander, he didn't live very long. He died very young, but yeah, no, part of his conquest was that, but he didn't actually have to go there to do it. Weird, I know, but you know, he did have it. He did have escapades in Persia, modern day Iran, and India. But he didn't really live long enough to see this united empire that he's talking about. So now I don't know if he ever. I'm not going to try to prove a negative, but history doesn't really write about his escapades in Egypt, which means that he wasn't really at that point in Africa to even travel south to, like, even if he did visit, you know, there's no mention of him taking an army into Ethiopia. That's just, I don't want to say the R word, but that's just very strange. If you read the story, it's horribly historically inaccurate, like horrible. But yeah, there's a city there named after him, like, you know, kind of like Columbus, and you know, but he never actually been to Ohio. It's kind of like that.
Yes, ma'am. What do you want to say?
I am a product of a biracial marriage, so I just want to say that my mom, she raised me. She's white. She gave me the best of both worlds. She did not leave anything out. My father is not really part of my life, but I still learn from her. She's not ignorant to the fact that I am biracial, and she lets me explore both parts and lets me do what I feel is necessary.
That's all on the parents. So are you offended by what Valerie says?
Very much so, because
she's a biggin. She's a biggin, and she's young, so you know that it's genetics, which means that her mother is likely a biggin too.
It's 2001. I'm a better person than that because I can look over and try and educate people.
Thank you. Coming up next, two sets of brothers.
All right, and that's that. Here, let me get out of there. Okay, so let me exit out. Yeah, her mom was either a side chick or a starter chick. And keep in mind, she looks like she was probably born somewhere in the 80s or 70s, early 80s, late 70s, because she says 2001. So the information wasn't available. Black men were conditioned not to know their worth. And that's what online is right now. It's a bunch of men saying, it's a bunch of men saying, I now know my worth. And a bunch of women who are upset that they now know their worth. You see, and that is what Kevin Samuels' whole average at best thing came to. That's what the average at best thing came to. It's like, wait a minute, you're an average woman and you want an exceptional man. That doesn't make sense. Well, he doesn't have to know he's exceptional, is really what she wanted to say. Like, how does he know that he's exceptional? He shouldn't know that he's exceptional. And he most certainly shouldn't know that I'm average. At best. He shouldn't know these things. He should not know his value. He should be selling himself at a discount. And then bragging to his friends about how he got some. That's what he should be doing. Okay, I'll take your word for it. And I'll stand corrected. Didn't say it didn't happen. I just said it didn't. He didn't go to Ethiopia. Could have swore it was conquered in his name, but history is just like that sometimes, I guess. Anyway, where was I? Not Egypt. Oh, raised to not know your worth. See, that's the biggest secret. But now the secret is out. See, this was 2001. The internet was new and everything. And, like manosphere stuff like that didn't exist. But now fellas are starting to realize their worth. And they can't stand it. Because not only are they appraising themselves, they're appraising the women that come their way. So they're saying that, okay, I'm giving myself an accurate appraisal. Now I'm going to give you an accurate appraisal and determine if you measure up. And if you don't, no penis for you. And that's really what's ramping up the gender war, because they're not used to paying these prices for men. They're not used to paying sandwiches. He wants sex, submission, and sandwiches. My mama didn't have to pay that. My mama had 3 stepkids. Or my mama came with 3 kids from somebody else. How come I got to pay so much more than my mama have to pay? Because your mama got that discount. Your mama got that discount. Now, I'm going to be deliberately historically inaccurate for a second. And let's just say that the Native Americans actually sold New York for some beads. That's not what happened, but that's how they tell the story. They sold New York for some beads. Do you think the next generation is going to do that? Or the one after that, or the one after that, or the one after that? No, one generation is going to be like, you know something? This land here is worth more than the beads. And that's when the wars start. That's when the war starts. Once a group of people realize that they've been hoodwinked and they start asking for more than another group is willing to give, that's when the wars start. And that's what this gender war is Black men demanding more and Black women refusing to give it. Yeah. I think I'm going to end on that note. There was something else in my brain. It's late, so my mind isn't. That's why you hear me saying, I was thinking of something, I forgot something. My mind's not like all the way in it, and I didn't plan on doing this. That's why it's a quick one. But yeah, wait, you say my mom cooked every night. Okay, listen. Here's the thing. Your mom likely wasn't a boomer. And if she was the exception. Women used to be a lot better. Women used to be a whole lot better prior to the boomers. And during the boomer generation, they went horrible. And during the Gen X generation, they went worse. But now they have to deal with this. Here, I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all what they have to deal with now. They have to deal with this. This right here, this is their worst nightmare. This right here used to be their fantasy. He was once their fantasy. Now he is their nightmare. And with 3 words, he went from fantasy to nightmare. You want to know what those 3 words was? I'm the prize. Boom! Everything just went out of proportion. Everything just went ballistic. When C.J. King, Esquire, got that title, nuclear explosion, shots fired, the ram has hit the wall, Crispus Attucks is down, or whatever precursor that, was used to begin a war, that was it. That was it. He was not supposed to know his worth, ever. He was supposed to grow up, be the best man he can be, and then marry a single mother, an overweight single mother. When she was ready for him, he was supposed to get with Miss Average at best. That was one of the first major indicators that brothers are becoming aware of their worth. A great secret has been revealed. And once a secret like that is out the bag, it's out the bag. They even said that in Amistad. She said, the Africans must never go free. The secret is their wealth. Once the secret is realized like this, there's no going back. There is no going back. It's kind of like asking your boss for a raise, and then he says no, but then you find out a secret that he's cheating on his wife with his wife's brother and father, and her mother is watching, gathering water and holding the camera. It's like finding that secret out. At that point, it's like, look, I want more. I demand a promotion. I demand more. And there you go. Now, the brother on the clip, I don't know what his economic status is or anything like that. But I do know that once the secret is revealed, because he obviously didn't know his worth, or else he wouldn't have been with that chick who already had a kid. He obviously had no idea of his worth. And that's by design. That's 2001. Brothers are starting to realize their worth. And with that understanding will come an increased standard. And that is what they have been avoiding all these years. All right, so with that being said, I'd like to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participated in the chat. This is GameChanger00100. Game over. Peace.